Hey there. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. I'll say that again. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast. Oh, yep, with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. Now it's time for the Big Bad Broadcast.
Let me explain to you. Mike invites me on the show, and the first question you ask me is about what I think of this piece of shit Lane's merge. I can't, Mike, I don't know why you did that. You know I can't stand that guy. I can't stand that guy. Every time I'm in a lane and I'm merging, I want to kill his mother for having him. Every time, he's like a guy you can't get rid of. It's like herpes, this guy. Every time you drive your car, Lane's merge. He thinks he's the most talented. I don't even know what he's doing. He's the reason comedy's gone. He's the reason comedy sucks. He's a disgraceful human being. He's a piece of puke. Every time I go to bathroom, I do a Lane merge. That's what I'm trying to say.
So you're saying you're not a big fan?
No, I don't like him.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now to welcome you to Bitchin Baby Boomers.
Good afternoon, my little bitchin' baby boomer nation. That's right, we're strong. We got almost 1,800 now on our website page, on our Facebook page, and don't forget to go to our website, which is www.thebbbradio.com. When you get there, all our shows are there, past, present, even the future ones that Joe knows are going to be there. When you go to YouTube, hit the button and subscribe. We need you to subscribe. We also need you to get off your butts and start watching this show. And because we got a great show. We got an amazing show to you today. We're going to take a walk down memory lane with food, candy, and we got our regular cast of crazies with us. We got the Dean of the Clown College, Mike Grief.
We're booming out, brother.
We got the mind reader, Joe Silky.
Whoa, excuse me.
He learned that from a cop. And we got our Yoda, Craig Mitchell.
Hey, can you do that with coffee? Coffee and
Yeah, don't tease me with
and I got to get something off my chest. You need to go get vaccinated. I don't want to wear a mask because you people refuse to get vaccinated. You've been vaccinated, right, Mike?
Oh, yeah, man. I took it 2 or 3 times because I needed some extra chips. I was missing a chip, so I had them give me a couple shots. You know.
Joe, what about you?
Yep, I did it.
And what about you, Craig?
I got it last night.
I got vaccinated because I just wanted – because I kept losing my car keys. And now I can stick them on my forehead.
Hey, Joe got vaccinated.
There is nothing wrong with the vaccination. Look at the science right now. If you're in the hospital, 99.5% of the people that are dying have not been vaccinated. You want to die?
And only 2 people have turned into lizards.
That's right. One of them was Jim Morrison.
But they were able to make a living now, so it's okay.
But anyway, we got a great show today. We got a very funny comedian, TV star, which we don't have all the time, a TV star. And we're going to take a walk. What? Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, you're more of a movie star, even in movies. And we got Joe Silky, who just watches TV. And Craig is, we're all like famous in our own way, except nobody knows it except for us. So, anyway.
I'm a legend in my own mind.
Legend in his own mind, and I'm excited about being there. I hope you're excited as I'm pretending to be. All right, so let's get to this. We've got a lot of great feedback when we took our walk down memory lane with toys, and today we're going to go with some food, and then we're going to go with some candy. So what do we got in the way of the first one we got to talk about.
Oh, hey.
Jiffy Pop.
Jiffy Pop.
I remember
Love that stuff.
As much fun to make as it is to eat.
That's
that
right.
But you could have done a commercial.
That's it.
Except don't reach in while it's cooking. That hurts.
Except in my house, every time we made it, it was like always burnt.
Yeah, it always burns.
Just on the bottom.
Or as John Mulrooney says, when it pops, it looks like the back of a Rastafarian's hat.
And before Jiffy Pop, we had this.
Yeah, the built-in, what does that say?
The
Hullis corn, popcorn.
Hullis, yeah. You didn't have
That
to worry
was the
about
one
getting
that
hit with an
came-
iceberg.
That was the one that came with the popcorn on one side and the Axel oil on the other side. That yellow, weird stuff.
And back in the 60s, that was not good for you. There was tons of trans fats, probably pieces of animals. It was bad.
Yeah, that was yellow. It was yellow, not exactly. And it came out. It was solid.
Jaundice
Bright yellow.
Jaundice corn.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
And then we have
egg
creams.
creams.
Oh, you know what?
Those are the best.
I thought that was a Slim Fast. Not a ice cream.
No, that's
Dave's Luncheonette downtown.
I used to love ice
15,
cream.
15 cents, 25 cents for a big plate of fries, and you had a healthy meal.
And Dave's had the best egg creams in the world. Sign said so.
What was? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, Chicken Delight.
Chicken Delight.
Yeah.
Don't cook tonight. Cold Chicken Delight.
Yeah.
Before
I'm like
KFC,
the Rain Man of TV commercials, you know?
Was that a chain? I don't remember that as a chain.
Yeah.
I remember the slogan and everything, but I don't remember that ever
Yeah.
having that.
Don't choke your chicken. Get Chicken Delight. No. That's how all their chickens were killed humanely. They choked them all.
oh, come on. This is an adult show.
Did you ever see that Beavis and Butthead where he's choking on the chicken McNugget? And he's going, choking. He's going, you're what? You're choking your chicken? He goes, Heimlich. He goes, you're choking your chicken? No way.
All right, here's a biggie.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. TV dinners.
They came with a metal plate so you could beat your brother with it when you were done.
That was like a big deal. I mean, to have a TV dinner, it was like the future.
Yeah, it's funny. Like if your parents were going out and they go, "We're going to leave you with a babysitter, but we bought you, a TV dinner,"
Yeah.
or the other one was a chicken pot pie. Remember that?
Didn't Ralph Cramden make a costume out of those TV dinner things when he was doing the Man from Outer Space?
In the future.
Hey.
Don't we have some undercover reporting from Eunice on these?
Yeah, Eunice has been doing some research on TV dinners. So, Craig, roll the video, please.
Okay.
And now, the Bitchin Baby Boomers Radio.com is proud to present to you, from the four corners of the world, some of the most unusual, interesting stories or facts you ever see. This is Believe It, if you want. These extraordinary stories are true and filmed on location. Remember, believe it, if you want. According to the most widely accepted version, in late 1953, a Swanson salesman named Jerry Thomas had the idea for frozen dinners after noticing that the company had discovered it had a large surplus of frozen turkeys due to poor Thanksgiving sales. 260 tons of frozen turkey left over after Thanksgiving, sitting in 10 refrigerated railroad cars. Man, that's a lot freaking turkey. 10 railroad cars full. The only way to keep the refrigerated cold was to keep the trains running back and forth. Several smaller businesses had previously suggested frozen meals. Swanson, on the other hand, was the first to achieve success. In the United States, the first Swanson brand TV dinner was produced, and it consisted of a Thanksgiving meal of turkey, cornbread dressing, frozen peas, and sweet potatoes packaged in a tray similar to those used for airline food service at the time. Each item received its own compartment. The trays were useful in that the entire dinner could be served on them. The tray with its aluminum foil covering heated directly in the oven without the need for additional dishes, and the meal eaten directly from the tray. The product was small enough to fit on a TV tray table and cook for 25 minutes at 425 degrees Fahrenheit, 218 degrees Celsius. The original TV dinner was supposed to cost 98 cents. Swanson & Sons TV dinner branded frozen meal sold 5,000 units when it was first introduced in 1953. Just 1 year later, the company had sold over 10 million TV dinners. The term TV dinner was coined by Jerry Thomas, the inventor. At the time of their introduction, televisions were status symbols as well as a growing medium. Swanson executives agreed with Thomas that the name TV dinner suggested that the product was intended to be convenient. Betty Cronin, a bacteriologist at CA Swanson & Sons, also contributed significantly to the invention. She was involved in the technical design of dinner items that could be frozen and reheated successfully. Funny that little side note is no little deal. All she had to do is figure out how to cook different food at the same time. Oh yeah, cook and kill the bacteria anyway. TV dinners are a $4.5 billion industry that is growing as new technology is introduced. So next time you have a TV dinner, thank Betty Cronin for keeping you safe.
Yeah, that's a wild story.
Good
That
to
is
know.
crazy.
And it was almost as tasty. You could actually bite into the box, and it was just as flavorful as what was in the box.
Here's some information that's not in the video. Okay, so the train that they kept running back and forth, they ran it from their headquarters, Swanson's headquarters in Nebraska, to the East Coast. Okay, 260 tons of turkey meat ends up being 35,000 turkeys.
Yum. Yum.
Well, I think what's more important here is they should have fired the mathematician that said how many turkeys they needed for Thanksgiving. I think he was the weak link in this whole equation.
But I like the way they say through poor planning. Poor planning. They're left with.
Poor planning meant you have 5 turkeys left over.
And you give those away to the poor, you know?
It's like,
And I like that the food was actually, looked after by a bacteriologist. I never even heard of a bacteriologist.
But the funny thing is, okay, yeah, so, all right, we're going to freeze these. All right, that's a great idea. But the person that had to figure out how to keep it, the different meal, different parts of the meals and, and keep the bacteria away. I didn't even realize that until I saw this. It was pretty,
I like the ad where the workman's painting, looking at the chick, thinking, I'd like to do you, and she's showing him a TV dinner. All right. Well, besides crazy foods, we also had candies that we all love. We all love candy.
Yeah.
And boy, there was a lot of different candies that we had. Bit of honey, remember
Oh,
that?
bit of honey.
That's right. Who didn't like a bit of honey?
Wasn't that a song?
See Moon Map for offer on back.
Oh, wow. Moon map and everything.
Yeah, there we go. Tying it into the Apollo stuff.
I got arrested the last time I took a bit of honey.
That actually tasted sort of like nutritious.
Like a little bit of honey.
Like it was peanut butter and honey. It wasn't, yeah.
Did they have like a bit of honeycombs?
All right. There you go. Button candy. That was introduced so that your body could be introduced to eating paper for when you went to school.
My mother wouldn't let me have that because she thought I would go on to do tabs of acid. She wouldn't let me do this. Yeah.
I always wanted to replace the buttons on my shirt with those things, but I would eat them.
There was like Chuckles. There you go. Chuckles started as a candy, later it became a comedy club.
And Mineola, Long Island.
No one ever liked the black ones. I did like those. I thought they tasted like licorice. Yeah, the green ones were my favorite.
I love the black ones and the red ones. They were delicious.
There's a grocery. I was telling Craig the other day. There's a pharmacist near my house that still sells them.
Yeah, they still make them.
I haven't seen them in years, except there.
And they're the same stock.
Yeah. They're like Twinkies. They never go bad. They're good for another 100 years.
You know when you get a bad stock when they're not even chewing anymore. They're not even chewing anymore. You can use them as a doorstop.
Maybe we should hire a bacteriologist. You ever think of that?
I killed a guy with a chuckle once.
Oh,
Fizzies.
Fizzies. Drop a fizzy in the glass. Watch the magic come to pass.
Wait a minute. I want to hear the story. Okay, you what, Mike?
Never mind. I killed a guy with a chuckles once, but let's just move on.
You sure you didn't kill a guy at Chuckles?
Statute of limitations ain't up yet.
Fizzies. Joe knows the slogans to everything. What is that, Joe?
Yeah, it was drop of fizzies in the glass. Watch the magic come to pass.
Really?
I used to love those, but I used to just
magic out your ass.
I just used to like dropping them in the water and watching the fizz. It tasted horrible.
The root beer was really good. My friend and I, who helped me make my bee bomb.
Bee bomb?
Yeah, the bomb I told you that I put the jar over the beehive.
Oh, the bee bomb.
I get thrown at people. We had this neighbor that we hated, and we decided we would save up $20 and buy fizzies and throw them in his pool. We never did it. We were very disappointed. It was one of our fantasies.
My mother and father finally bought me fizzies after I ate a whole box of Alka-Seltzer.
This is a fact. You know why they stopped selling fizzies?
Huh?
Because kids used to swallow the tabs whole, and they had all sorts of stomach problems. Their stomachs would like blow up to the point where they would almost explode.
Wow.
I think if you're swallowing whole tabs of fizzies, we don't need you, really. Society is better off without you.
And they went on to become the unvaccinated. Now, this is my favorite. You guys don't remember this because you're not old enough.
Oh, yeah.
Flavor straws. They came in strawberry and chocolate. And see that little stripe on the straw? That was all the chocolate. And when you put the regular milk in it, like you see in the picture, you could dip the straw and it would turn it to milk, or just sip it through the straw and it would become chocolate.
Right.
And if you took that, we were as kids, we dissected everything. You took that chocolate thing or strawberry out of the straw and tasted it, it was disgusting. It tasted like chemicals.
And look at those kids. They're just floating heads.
I know. Nibs.
Nibs.
They call me Mr. Nibs.
Yes.
This is very funny because on the bottom they put camels, like 3 wise men, and a palm tree to make it sound like you're eating something exotic.
Yeah. Yeah. Whenever I'm traveling in the Middle East, I eat nibs,
Exactly. Pixie straws.
Oh, man. They used to get me so wired, man. It's just
I don't know why. Just because it's all sugar.
Well, I saw the show, like these little kid beauty contests, and that's what the mothers give these kids to get them all wired. They give them Mountain Dew and Pixie Sticks.
I'm sorry, I can't watch those. I feel like a pervert watching little kids.
Yeah.
Oh, John Bonet, come on, walk the stage.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Candy necklace.
Candy necklace.
Yes.
It was cool.
Didn't you tell me that you wore one of those in a pool once?
I did. I jumped in the pool wearing those. When I came out, I just had rainbow colors all over my chest and my stomach. It was great. My dog loved it.
People wondering why you're trying to lick yourself.
Okay, what else we got here that's in the middle? There we go.
Bottom of Turkish taffy.
That they must have had some sort of slogan too, but it was like that you could crack it or stretch it. And if you ate that long enough and pulled on it, it became like a shiv. You get held up a bank.
They were big in prison, Turkish taffy. Make a shiv, a shank out of it.
I can't figure out how to. My whole screen is way too big now. What? I don't know.
Well, what do we?
We're going to be doing some editing.
Yeah.
No, I don't get it. I mean, do I have to leave and come back in?
If you want, we can wait if you want to.
No, just keep going. But I don't understand.
Don't you have the thing down in the corner to shrink the screen?
I don't know. Oh, there we go. All right, we're back.
Okay,
we're back. Okay, we're back. We're very technical. I was going to call Craig and have him come to my house.
All right,
okay. Turkish taffy. Okay.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, not to be recused with Indian taffy.
All right. So
this
what
is
else
Coney Island taffy.
This is Mick Jagger's favorite.
Wacko wax. I think they're probably molded after his lips.
Yeah, that's what they look like. They look like the Stones' lips, right?
Yeah.
And
Wacko wax.
I have some other ones here that aren't really typical, guys.
Yeah, I found these. These are candies that just didn't quite make it. And I think we can. There we go. Bubblegum camel balls, extra sour.
Kids were nuts for camel balls. Come on.
Hey,
look at
and you bought the economy pack. It came with ball spray.
I had a camel shirt, a camel hair ball shirt.
I'd walk a mile for a camel ball.
Actually, these are pretty good, but you don't want the camel toes. Those are not.
What are they filled with? By the way, camel toe. If you're over 40, it's a camel foot. But anyway,
they're extra sour.
What are they filled with? What's the red stuff? Look like ketchup.
Yeah.
I'm not eating camel balls. I'm not eating camel balls.
Ketchup.
I don't know.
What does that say between his legs?
I'm not looking that close, Joe.
They're extra sour.
Look at his bald head going up in there.
Okay. They're extra sour.
Why do I keep missing? Oh, there we go. We're back.
They're extra sour and they're liquid filled.
Yeah, but what about the camel balls?
that is eat shit. There you go. Now you can tell them to eat shit. Delicious little turd-shaped morsels of gummy candy. Cola flavored.
Where can I get these? These are great.
20 pieces inside. Look at the guy on the left. It says Turd Delicious.
Oh my god!
I can't imagine why that wouldn't sell.
It's unbelievable. Uncle Joe's mint balls.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've actually heard that from Uncle Joe.
He must have stayed at the Borgata where they have that mint body wash.
Didn't you keep that? You keep that in the closet so it keeps the moth off your balls and your sweaters.
He looks pretty happy about it.
Yeah, well,
look at the guy.
Very dapper.
Because while that picture is taken, somebody's eating his balls.
Yeah.
Or he's applying ball spray.
Can you make a mint julep balls out of it?
Oh my god! Okay, we're going off the tracks. Go to the next one. Gorilla boogers. There you go.
That's much better.
My monkeys love those.
This is why Mike's raising all those monkeys.
That's right.
Yeah.
Monkey boogers.
That's right.
And they basically look like raisins too. It's disgusting.
Look, Curious George on steroids picking his nose.
Oh
and
man!
One of them flies out. That's really appetizing.
Okay, well, I take offense to this next one automatically.
Golden gay time. That's for older gay guys.
Yeah. Actually, it's for gay guys with prostate issues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Are you ready to retire and you're gay? Have some golden gay time.
It sounds like a resort.
Yeah. Get out of your golden shower. Get out of your golden shower and have some golden gay time.
It sounds like a sitcom. It's like golden gay time.
It's like the Golden Girls, only with a male cast.
Yeah. All right. I have no words.
Burmese.
Oh my God.
The candy you love to swallow. It says on that.
Unless you're a Jewish girl, then you just throw them on her belly.
Oh man. That is a candy that, I don't know, you can't pull them out in the locker room with your football buddies and go, anybody want these Furbies?
Or can you, if you think of it? I wonder if they taste a little bitter. I'm just curious.
I wouldn't know, Craig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't eat. I just hope whoever made them didn't eat asparagus first.
They actually don't look like Furbies. They look like gummy bears.
Oh my God.
But the truth is that you can eat 15 of them, but only one will reach your stomach.
Oh God. All right. Well, we apologize, folks. We're going completely off the rails today. But I hope you had as much fun as we did. So we're going to bring on a great guest who's a really good friend of Mike and Mike Reef, that is. And we're going to let him do the honors.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I'm really happy to have this guy. He's a great, not only a comedian, an actor, an entrepreneur, a real funny guy, and just a great guy. He's like, we know in show business when you say a guy's a triple threat, that means a singer, a dancer, and an actor. Well, this guy's a triple threat in his own right. He's good with a gun, a knife, and a piano wire. And you guys probably know him from his most famous role, which was Benny on Home Improvement. Jimmy, Craig, let's run that clip of Jimmy on.
You got it.
Real man, you can eat whatever you want. It's like they say, fat builds muscle.
Who says?
Tubby John, right next to the warning by the Surgeon General.
Hadn't gone to heaven?
$15,000. You can be my silent partner.
Hey, how come you didn't ask me?
What?
How come you didn't ask me?
Benny, you gotta have some money.
Oh, yeah, money.
What's that? Well, I thought I'd keep the freeloaders from coming in here and drinking all our coffee.
Good idea.
Benny, I believe the freeloaders he's talking about is you.
Get out of here.
All right. Let's welcome my good friend Jim Labriola.
Hey.
Mikey, how you doing, Mike? Good to see you, buddy.
He must have been watching the rest of the show. He's wearing a mask. You don't want to get polluted by us.
No, Mike. I'm wearing a mask because I'm ready to hit a supermarket in about 10 minutes. That's the only reason I'm wearing the mask. But you know what? Let me put that aside right now. Mikey, hey guys, great show. Hold on a second, honey. Eat shit. There's two left. Eat shit. Good.
There you go. Let me introduce you to the guys. I know you know John Ferrantino, right?
Great, phenomenal. Stole half his act. Go ahead.
There you go. Below him is Craig Mitchell. He's our technical Yoda guy. Does all
Craig, I heard about you.
You did.
And below him is that's Joe Silky. He's our mind reader, mentalist.
Joe, what am I thinking right now?
You thinking I'm full of crap?
Guy's good. Guy's good.
But Jimmy, it's good to have you here, buddy. And so what have you been doing? So I want to ask you first. You're from Queens. You know, I remember years ago. I've known Jimmy for about 30 years. And I remember when they first came out and they said they had that show, The King of Queens. I go, hey, thank God Jimmy got a show. Because if anyone should be the King of Queens, there he is right there.
Thank you, Mike. And I got a guy from Long Island. A Mama Lou from Long Island. I got no resentments for that piece of shit.
So let me ask you first.
Is like that mother. But you got to let things go, Mike. So what Jacob got the pot instead of me. You got to let go.
So Jimmy, what made you get into comedy? Were you like me? Were you like the class clown?
Well, you know what? It's true. I mean, my whole family's comical. I mean, from aunts to uncles to sisters, brothers, but they're psychotic too. They're sociopaths. So there was like no middle in my family. Like
they make you laugh, but they'll stab you.
I love you. It was like you're laughing on and usually the stuff you were laughing at was like, you remember when Daddy hit you in the head with the fire truck that time you were bleeding? You know what I mean? Like fucking kids, like, you know, and this is the God's honest truth. Like, the kids would go to school, like, well, what did you do this summer? You know, what is your father? He's a fireman. And Billy, what did you do this summer? We went camping. My daddy's a policeman. And I'm like, Jimmy, what about you? Oh, my father, he put the Piccarelli brothers in the hospital. I'm the youngest of five, and that's all I ever heard. Yeah, your daddy knocked this guy's jaw. He stabbed this guy in an ice pick in his eye. And I'm like, all right, thank you, Dad.
Well, we had that in common. I was always scared of my dad. But was your dad, was he supportive of the comedy? Was he supportive of your career?
He didn't give a shit. He was about himself. He didn't care. He just like, hey, you got to use our last name. Don't. He just didn't like. I was the only guy in my family on TV without an overcoat over his head.
Pushing your head down and walking you into the police station, right?
Yeah, my father's like, Jimmy, they see you, they can see you. I said, Dad, that's the whole idea. I'm on a show. But don't use our name. Don't use make up a name, but Joey Filaguzzi or something. Don't use a Labriola. Okay, Dad.
And I remember when I first met you. I met you. I met Jimmy in an acting class. What were the first things we said to each other?
Oh, this is what's so funny. Me and Mike actually met in an acting class. So here I am. There's a lot. That was a 200 pounds dinner, and we. So you go to the method acting. All of a sudden, we get a scene together, and it's like, in that acting, you got to repeat the word. Like they might say, hello, 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 hello. Fucking $500 to repeat words. So the next thing Mike, he looks at me, I look at him, I go, F you. He goes, no, F you. I said, no, F you. No, F you. So we start really, and he's thinking, who's this little guinea bastard? So she finally goes, okay, guys, good. Stop. And she said we were like 3 weeks ahead of the FUs, me and Mike.
We were
and
way
then
ahead
the
of
rest is history, man. That whole acting class was us to meet. I mean, really, we've been best of friends. Forget friends. We've been like brothers.
And that's when you were doing that show, The Night of 1,000 Guidos. I remember that.
I started that. You know what it was? And John and you guys will understand as being a comedian, I never liked club owners and shit, mostly, And when you start, everybody's an expert, Oh, you should do this. And okay, what do you do for a living? You're a bartender, like Messina. Okay, I'll listen to you. So I don't need him anymore, so I can throw the name.
You can't do anything anymore anyway.
So to make a short story
he's probably tending bar again anyhow.
I probably owned the bar. Anyway, to make a short story longer, what happened was, you know how comics, when you finally get to be headliners, you never really get to work together no more.
Right.
So I said, hey, what about, I took a Sunday night, most of us were off, and I was walking in New York, and they had a one-night show, was called Night of 1,000 Stars at Radio City Music. So I said to myself, well, what about Night of 1,000 Guidos? I don't know why, it just popped my head. So I took a night, I called it Night of 1,000 Guidos, and most of the comics I used were Italians at that time. All headline, like Frank D'Amico, Joey Cola, even Ray Romano and all. And I remember Jimmy's Comedy Alley was my first show I did. And what's her name goes, what was her name? Linda. I told her my idea Sunday night. She goes, I said, I'll pack the place. She goes, oh, Labriola, please. You're lucky you get 50 people. Well, I had a friend, Bobby Z, who sold the tickets by hand. We sold over 300 tickets, and they were they were panicking. She had to call all her staff, and the rest was history after that. I had and it got so popular. I had guys non-Italian, just Colin Quinn, everybody. I wish I would have taped those shows. Oh my God!
Hey, the one I did had Pat Cooper came to watch us, and then at the end decides he's going to get up.
The first two shows, we had like 6 guys. Pat Cooper sitting in the back. He gets up after like a 2.5-hour show and just destroys every comic. So now the word was out. Oh my God, this show is, unbelievable. Then Pat came a second time again and did it. And then I did that show for years. It sold itself out. Even club owners were like, how's he doing that advertising? But it was so much fun to work with your friends. The beauty of my show is you're working with guys. Nobody's competing. You're all back there laughing your ass off for your friend, and you're saying shit people can't hear to try to screw them up. So it was just fond memories, man. I still do them once in a while. I'm still trying to get it actually in Vegas as a regular show.
Now,
so if anybody wants to call me looking for work and kiss my ass, give me a call.
Hey. Now, would you say one of your first kind of bigger breaks was when you opened for Tim Allen?
Yeah, it was funny. I remember too saying, I'm leaving the business. I was always leaving the business. I don't need this. And matter of fact, it was Governor's Comedy Club. I'll show you how faith is. And it can't always be about the money. Governor's called me. Tim Allen was working there that weekend. This is 1989. And I forget who called me from Governor's. Whoever booked it.
John's sister.
Right. She called me and said, Labriola, could you MC this weekend for this guy. So right away, I think I'm not in MC no more. And they would pay me $350. And she called, and God bless her too. That's right, it was her. Because I said, can I call you back? Because I was thinking, I don't know if I want to do this. I didn't know Tim Allen. At the time, he was the hottest comic in the country. He was doing the Men of Pigs tour, the Showtime thing. Right. So my friend Bob Piver, who's a writer in Long Island, he's done a lot of one-liners for like Joan Rivers and Dangerfield. I said, listen, they want to pay me $3. Should I do it? He goes, Labriola, what are you, crazy? Go do it. Because this guy's the hottest comic. Whoever sees him will get a chance to see you. So thank God she held it for me. Because, and I called back and said, yeah. And me and Tim, don't ask me, we're so different. We became best of friends that weekend. As they say, the rest was history.
I still remember that first show that you were on. And this was before they knew there was going to be a character Benny on the show. It was just a separate thing. It was you're delivering a reindeer. It was, I guess,
my first line. I was shitting my pants. This is my line. I got a reindeer here for a Tim Taylor. I was like this, nervous because she's coming to the scene. I had it written everywhere, and I still screwed up. I had to go. I got a line. Reindeer here, and then I did the men. I did the men. There's a kitchen scene, the men's kitchen. I played the butcher in the freezer. And I actually took my clothes off. I asked the director, can I do it? And, it was like nothing under the robe. And when I turn around, it's one of those things. If it don't work, it dies.
Right.
If it goes and it hit. And the next year they created Benny for me. I didn't audition like, Blake Clark auditioned for Harry. They actually created Benny for me. And the sad part is we all have our stories. Is in 1995, they were spinning the hardware store off, me and Blake. Tim had a deal to do another show, and Entertainment Tonight, which was big back then, did two big stories on us and followed us to the Comedy Store, and we thought it was, and it didn't happen. And Disney had me on a holding deal, and 2 years later again. But you know what? I wouldn't have met my wife if I did that.
Well, I remember I was kissing. I was hanging on to your coattails, really kissing your ass back then because I figured there'd be a spinoff and you'd get my character into there because. We were supposed to do a Home Improvement together, right? We were going to do
it. You did. Delivery guys, and the freaking director took our gig that week. But I'll tell you what, guys, it was a great ride to be on that show. Of all shows, it was nothing but fun. I mean, an experience. I always used my comedy to get to be on a TV show. When I was a teamster, younger, driving a dump truck. This is God's honest truth. I used to drive and I'd see ABC Studios, and I would say, one day I'm going to be on the number one show on ABC. What I should have said was, one day I'm going to be the star of the number one show on ABC. I screwed the wording up a little bit.
John,
That's all right. When I was starting out in Long Island, there was a guy called Charles Lamont, the X-rated hypnotist. And I used to go, someday I hope to be as big as him. And Eddie Murphy's going, I'm going to be the Beatles of comedy. I think I didn't shoot high enough. Mike, you were on Home Improvement too, right?
I did a couple of. Matter of fact, great. Thankful to Jimmy. It was the weirdest thing. I was visiting California, visiting Jimmy, and he went into the casting place to do something, whatever it was, and they just saw me. They saw me. And so we go back to Jimmy's house, and it was like nothing. We're just hanging out. And all of a sudden, Jimmy picks up the phone. He gets a phone call, and he looks at me, he goes, Mike, it's Disney for you. And I'm like, yeah.
He's like, yeah, all right.
Fuck out of here. And he goes, no, I'm serious. And it was Disney wanted me to come in to read for the part of George, and that was, I did 2 episodes.
And you know what's great with Mike? Let me say this one thing if you don't know about him. Never liked him personally and stuff, but we're very close. And Mike is a phenomenal actor, and that's the God's honest truth. He's incredible comic, but acting is just a natural. And he went from like 2 lines to this whole 2 scenes in there. And that character was so funny that if we got the spinoff, Mike would have definitely became a character, probably reoccurring in the beginning, and definitely would have came a regular on that show with me. But it was just he stole.
Well, they're talking about rebooting.
Like, up to him. Hey, I've been on 1,000 of them. They fucking recognize him more. But I got no resentment. I'm not a guy to have like this.
And here's the truth. I think my first 2 years in L.A., I would have starved to death if it wasn't for Home Improvement, because we used to go down almost every day and hang out on the set, and so we'd eat free craft services. And the craft service guy hated us because we'd sit there, we would just eat. Oh yeah, Tim. Yeah, that's great. Hi, Tim. How you doing? Who cares?
And you know what was the only thing with the worst thing? They had the best craft services, but the guy was a skivatsa that ran it, Joe. They just like he was like a ski. You know what I mean? Like a dirty uncle or something at the party. You keep your eye on this guy like a slime ball, and he's the guy handling. And then he always acted like he was paying for it. Oh, you can't take. I said, Joe, get out of here before I kill your family. Get away from me. So me and Mike would just grab anything we wanted, but he like had a calculator watching what you ate.
Yeah.
I used to go home. That's your Joe. Take a shower. Do your nails. Get away from me. Get out of here. Your nails.
So they're talking about. I mean, they did the Connors. They did the reboot of the Roseanne show, and of course, the big buzz was. I mean, what was the biggest show on earth? Was Home Improvement. So, I know there was talk about it. Have you heard anything about a possibility?
Well, Tim's doing this show now, this reality with his sidekick. It gets kind of like building stuff, but there is talk still. There was talk about either a movie or there was talk about like a reboot of maybe making so many episodes again because his other show is ending now, Last Man Standing. Right. So there is talk. There's always talk about it.
Maybe we should take a ride to his house and do a little convincing.
Well, I just go up to him like this. Tim, can I talk to you? Tim, there's this little rumor going around. Hold on a minute.
He's a reasonable guy.
Hold on a minute.
Is that your dog?
Yeah. Anyway,
I should mention.
Hey Jim, if he's in his Galaxy Quest mode, here's a phaser you can take. There you go.
Hey, I want to mention too, John. It's good to see John. John, you are a funny bastard and a great guy. We always knew each other kind of from the business, but we got to spend 2 weeks on a ship together.
Was it? It was a Norwegian.
America.
Was it Holland America? Oh yeah.
And we had, and you know what's so
because look at the two of us. Look at the two of us. We're perfect for Holland America.
Well, my wife never worried about me screwing around because the average age on Holland America back then was deceased.
But they used to say the late night comedy show is at 5:30.
And the midnight buffet was 7:15 on that ship. But you know what? When you spend 2 weeks with a guy, we got to know each other and really had some good laughs. And matter of fact, we got so
lot
close,
of meals
we just kind of shared a room together. We just said, "Hey, why don't we just kind of cuddle?"
in the early 90s, did you do a radio show on WGBB with Frankie Pace?
Yes, yeah. I it was called The Boys from Brooklyn.
Okay,
and it was me, Frankie, and Jay London.
I got to tell you, one time I had a show on Wednesdays called Rappin' Wednesdays with Quentin Heggs, and they encouraged us to call in to promote us the next day. I called into you guys, and your guest was Pat Cooper.
Yes.
And he goes, "Oh, there's Craig Mitchell," and Pat Cooper goes, Craig Mitchell, big homosexual. And I freaked out. I'm like, how the fuck did Pat Cooper know that?
Well, let me ask you a question. Speaking of that, I noticed when they talked about camel balls and shit like that, there was a joke, and I'm just asking.
Oh. He must have hit the wrong button.
Oh no, that was me. I didn't want to answer the question.
You didn't want to answer the big camel ball question.
You know where he was going with that, right?
He's back.
He's back.
No, Craig, what I wanted to ask you, because people would joke, are you homosexual?
Only yes. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that, but guys, I gotta go. I got my pastor here. Hold on, pastor. I didn't know.
I just assumed everybody knew. I'm sorry about it. Didn't mean to dive bomb you there, Jim.
No. Listen, I'm kidding around. Hey, we're all God's children, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I banged a few guys when I was younger.
Jimmy,
well, that's a different kind of bang. I think.
Well, I was on top. I'm gonna tell you right now. You know what, Craig? The more I'm looking at you, you do look familiar.
Yeah.
Wait! I'll show you my butt.
It's you. Wait, the mind reader. Where's the mind reader? What am I thinking right now?
You thinking Craig's full of crap?
This guy, you're the best I've seen.
Yeah.
The best I've seen.
Where do we go on Holland America? Do you even remember?
Well, not from the front of the ship to the back.
Yeah. It was the cemetery tour.
Well, you know what? We had a couple. We were doing the Caribbean cruise, which was like you went to the private island. I know we did that. Right. And we went to like St. Thomas and another place. But
you know what the funniest thing is, Jimmy? A couple of years later, after working for Holland America, they put a rock climbing wall on the ship.
No.
What? They put a rock climbing wall. And that used to be my opening line. I used to walk out and they go, so the ship's got a rock climbing wall. Take a look around you.
They should have like a tombstone wall.
Yeah. The only way those people are going up there is they put the buffet up there.
That is funny.
You buy an insurance policy here, and then you let your husband or wife climb the rock wall.
Maybe they thought it was a whaling wall. Maybe that was.
It was the funniest thing ever. All the cruise ships put on rock climbing walls.
That's a start, and especially like you said, Holland, where they're like, forget about it, ancient on that cruise. But yeah, Mike, I'll tell you, Mike, God Almighty, me and Mike could just write a book of our experiences together, right, Mike? And we kind of grew up together in the same. Mike, you grew up in Astoria, right? I grew up in Corona. I grew up, and John, you guys, honest to God, I'm not kidding you. I grew up in like this Italian neighborhood. No matter how you got killed, it was always a heart attack. That was it. They can be 800 people in the street, a guy laying there in the middle with an ice pick sticking out of his back. The cops will come. Hey, what happened? I don't know. It looked like a heart attack. Yeah. The guy grabbed his chest and fell on it 17 times. I don't know nothing. I went to a wake once. I looked at the coffin. I looked in. It was just a hand like this.
Just a hand.
On a little pillow with a pinky ring on it, of course, right? So the widow, she's crying. Oh, my husband. I said, what happened? Heart attack. I said, what, he fall in the wood chipper when he had it? But it always was. It was nobody would admit anything. There was always 50 closed coffins I went, and they were all heart attacks. Closed coffins, heart attacks.
I know nothing.
Well, I wanted to mention too. I mentioned it when I first introduced you. Also, an entrepreneur. I don't know if you want to talk about with all the stuff going on now, but Jimmy's my idol, because here's a guy who came from the streets. So nobody can say that they can't make it in this world today. Here, the proof is right here. This guy came from the streets, successful comic, successful actor, successful real estate. I mean, everything you touch turns to gold. I mean, you just got that touch. And why don't you mention what you're doing today?
Well, thanks for that, Mike. I appreciate it. I think sometimes it's good. I mean, we came from nothing. I mean, my family. I had the rich cousins that owned the construction. We were the paupers. I mean, I had a house in Corona we rented. It was so ugly. I used to actually wait or go around the block so the kids wouldn't see me go in. But I've been blessed in my life. Like about 5 years ago, I wanted to change in my life. Unfortunately, the business that we're in has really changed, especially comedy. It's not even about being funny anymore. And it's sad. Guys like myself, you, Mike, John, it's like we're like the Pat Coopers now. So I always wanted to do something different. And I did. When I did in real estate, I was very successful. And then about 5 years ago, I was always attracted to security. When I was younger, believe it or not, I was going to go that way or this way. But I was always, so I got hooked up with a couple. I was looking for a business and an opportunity came. And I took this small little, I was living in Brentwood, Tennessee there. It wasn't supposed to happen. I took this little security company. And praise God, the connections I made being on home improvement, I mean, that's a door opener. No matter where you go, it's just a door opener. And I wound up getting two big accounts like Love's and Flying J and Pilot. You'll see all the truck stops across the country. I got in business with these guys, 3 equal partners. And 5 years later, we're a national company. Started with one. And I have them all now, all throughout. I have offices all over the country, whether it's Memphis, Houston, Dallas.
What do they do?
What we do is, when you go to, and it's mainly the truck stops that are in the cities, the tougher areas. Right. So all my guards are armed. And we protect the truck stops because in the bad areas, sometimes you get the prostitutes and the pimps there bothering the drivers. You get the panhandlers in the store. So my guys basically, I call them roaches. They keep the roaches out. You know, because when you're driving a truck, you don't want to hear this all night on your door. You know, with the prostitutes, or you want to make sure the drivers don't get robbed.
Because they sleep in their trucks, in the truck stops.
Yeah.
So it's mainly, and regular cars go there too. You'll see when you drive across the country, you'll always see like TA. There's another one called TA. It's more in your area. And then there's Flying J and Pilot are the same company. There's another company called Love. So when you drive distances, you'll see these names.
Yeah, I've seen that sign.
They call them travel centers now. But cars go there too, you know, and they normally have like a McDonald's in there or a Denny's and a regular store. And then you got the pumps for the fuel for the cars and then the fuel for the trucks. So you got to keep everybody safe, basically. And these guys work hard. They're all armed, you know, and I, you know.
Not as well armed as you, but they're armed.
Yeah, I do all of Pilot and all of Flying J. And now I got Loves. I do them. And I just picked up a gas station. It's called Maverick. And they have 350 of them. So we've become a multi-million-dollar company now. I mean, it's just an incredible story for 5 years where we've gone to the fact that I'm actually debating on even maybe selling it now. And I might keep a little percent because when you build a business, you want to sell it when you're on top, you know?
I know. We're trying to build a business. We need a sponsor.
You know, I didn't think about that. Yeah. Good luck.
Well, see, and that's why I was so like, I mean, that's why I appreciate Jimmy so much. It's because I remember when he was built, and it's not an exaggeration to say that this man put his sweat, his tears, and everything. Because I would be on the phone with him, and this was after the big hurricane, and you know, so like there was a lot of destroyed property and stuff, and there was a lot of robberies, a lot of things going on, and he was personally there at these places, guarding them and watching the guards and keeping stuff safe. And that's how you got those accounts, not through luck, not through who you know, but through your hard work.
No, I mean, you know, it's like even home improvement. If you're blessed enough to get the door open, you got to produce. And Mike, I would be at these truck stops for 3.5 years. I traveled all over the country. I'd be there myself when we opened new ones. A week. I stayed in Birmingham for 5.5 weeks myself on ground at 3 truck stops, making sure the hires were good and all. So I used to call Mike up on the phone, and I'd walk around. I always had a cigar, a fedora, you know, and these bad neighborhoods. But to me, I'm from New York. It was crime light to me. But when I see these guys, I walk by, I go, Mike, I start talking to Mike. Mike, do me a favor. He doesn't pay. Kill his mother, kill his father. Bring me an eye back. So these guys are looking at me, walking, talking, and they would just get away. Like, oh, this is a crazy dude. This is a mafia guy. And he'd be laughing his ass off. But it worked. You know, it worked. People would say, but you know what? Let me just say this to anybody and all my friends. We're capable. If you are doing something you love, you're successful. And what I'm doing now in business, being a business owner and successful and being in security, protecting people, I got great partners. And to be a boss, I got thousands of employees all over. To take care of people is the greatest gift. I've never been happier than what I've been doing the last 5 years.
That's awesome.
What allows me, though, to do acting. Like, you know what I mean? Right now, I'm working on something with Colin Quinn, and he's trying, you know, we're trying to get the financing, and he's written a great part for me. But it's always there, but it's fun now for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no pressure anymore.
No, there's no pressure. Like, exactly, John, you know, and it's fun. It's fun, and we'll talk about the sponsorship. You know, not me doing anything, but we'll talk.
You know, I want to relay a story that you probably don't remember.
Excuse me, I'm not finished. So, what happened about 5 years ago? No, go ahead.
This is back like in the late '80s. Eastside Comedy Club used to have the open mic night on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And I would go there every single Wednesday. And the thing is, you never wanted to follow somebody super funny. Because it would be too hard. And you showed up one day and they put you on in front of me. And I'd never heard of you. I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. You went up and you nuked the fucking joint. I mean, to the point where the laughter company couldn't follow you. Wow. And I remember going, I don't know if this business is for me.
You know what? Just for you to say that, thank you. that means a lot to me. You know what
I remember your first joke.
Like this, you never know things like that. But thank you so much. And I'm
remember
glad
your
you
first
stayed
joke.
in the business.
Well, I remember your first joke. You went, you know what burns my ass? A flame this high. That was your first joke. And
you want to hear something funny, guys? I'm actually going to a fat farm this Sunday for about 2-3 weeks. Yeah,
a farm where they grow fat.
No, it's just fat. You go. They call them fat farm, but some people call them fit farm. But you go there, you eat. They cook the healthy food. You do it. You work out for like 7 hours a day. So
I'm gonna be outside dealing Snicker bars.
I was going to say,
I already got places. You bury them. You bury the Snickers out there.
House used to do a joke about that, right? House used to do a joke about that. He goes, I hang around the fat farms. He goes, selling candy bars. Hey, what do you need? I got Snickers. I got M&M.
I got camel balls. I got
I used to do a bit like that because I went to Weight Watchers. I never had a problem picking women up, right? I used to go to Weight Watcher meetings with candy.
I went to Weight Watchers once, and the woman says, you can eat hot dogs. This is a God's honest truth. And the woman raised her hand and said, I have a question. After you boil the hot dogs, can you drink the water? It's like, oh my God.
Somebody said that?
Yeah,
really?
You got a real problem, lady. That's a real problem.
Kill yourself.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, hold on 1 second. Hold on. What's that, honey? No. Yeah, I got the bread and milk. Okay.
Well, we're about hitting that hour mark, so I guess.
Are you kidding me? This is over already?
Well, unless you got something else you want to talk about.
No, I just want to say this, man. This is what I love. You guys have a phenomenal show. If you're out there, tell people about these guys. And I say that sincerely. Phenomenal show. 4 great, funny guys there. I hope I can come back another time. But you guys, please support this show. I know Mike's going to burn my ass now, try to get money from me. I didn't realize you need a sponsor. Good luck again. And I love you guys. Everybody, God bless you and your families. And hope you have me back sometime in the future. I'd love to come back.
Definitely.
Wait, before he goes, after we record, we need to talk to him a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Let's
have a big hand for Jimmy.
Yeah, let's have a round of applause for Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy, thanks. Good to see you again.
Woo! All right. Well, thank you, Jim Labriola, man. It was really a fun show. I had a great time. And you people out there, remember, check out our shows. Go to YouTube with the Bitchin Baby Boomers, or you can click on the Facebook page. And remember to subscribe. Subscribe to us and maybe leave a comment. But we really need you to subscribe. It just makes us feel good. And where else can they see us, John?
Well, we have a website called www.bbbradio.com. And you got to go there. It has all of our past shows, our present shows, and we also have a podcast. If you don't have time to watch a show, you can listen to it. You can take us with you to the beach. And, it's a great thing. You should go see that. And what else we got, Joe?
Well, if you bring us to the beach, make sure you got sunscreen for us.
And a towel, an extra towel.
Yeah. And you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And Craig will tell you what those addresses are.
Instagram, we're Bitchin Baby Boomers. And on Twitter, we're the BBB Radio Podcast. And now we're done for the week, right, guys?
Wait. Maybe by next week, Joe, after 17 weeks, can remember one of those.
22.
And I am behind on the Instagram. I have to get some more clips on Instagram, so I apologize to anyone out there who's been following us, and you need more content.
See you next week, everybody.
Bye-bye. Mwah.
Honey, that was the worst fucking show I ever did.
You need to tape this. Are we still taping?
Yeah, I'm still taping.
Honey, the worst fucking show.
He can't hear us. He doesn't know he's on.
I'm doing this for how many years? And I only did this for Mike. John, never liked him. His fucking magic stuff. That other fucking homosexual dude, whatever, put me on a show with a homosexual when they should have told me so I could talk to my rabbi and my pastor. And then you got this other bald-headed fucking guy that reads your mind all the time. He probably knows I wanted to masturbate halfway through the show, and I don't know if he's done it, guys. You know what, babe? The work, Mike lose my fucking number. Listen, let's go out and get something to eat. Where's those fucking the camel balls? You got another box of them?
Tune in next week to more Bitchin' Baby Boomers.